welcome in to be our guest. And let me remind you, this month, May, is Military Appreciation Month.
Correct.
So we just figured we would go out and get you a general. How's that? We get the cream of the crop. You're retired, Paul, but it's General Paul Hankins. And Paul, you have stayed so active trying to support our military and do things for our community and military relations. And that's what I love, folks, about people who have a passion and who are here to make things better. And there's something special that you've come up with, and I want to have you share this with our audience.
Sure. Thanks for those kind words, Virginia, but don't know that they're deserved. But back in 2011, the state legislature created the Job Creation and Military Stability Commission, and underneath it, the Military Stability Foundation. And the intent of that at the time was to try to bring the state's one voice to talk about military missions in our state, and because we had an eye toward possible a future BRAC where some of our bases would be threatened with closure. And so under the leadership of then Lieutenant Governor Kay Ivey,
right,
and now under Will Ainsworth's leadership, the foundation over the years has worked on initiatives to try to strengthen our state as a welcoming place for military members and to try to grow and sustain the missions we already have. So that's what the foundation is about. It's a small board. There's two of us from Montgomery on the board. And basically what we do is try to go out and help on issues. For instance, in the last 6 years, I think, we've passed over 40 pieces of legislation to make our state more military friendly.
Great.
Most of that's been aimed at spouse reciprocity, so that a nurse, or a realtor, a lawyer, a doctor, anybody can come in the state and their licenses, they don't have to relicense themselves. And we've worked really hard now. There's 2 more bills this year going through. It's kind of the end, every compact we can join through legislation, we're doing that to make it easier for our spouse to be employed when their families move to the state with the military or Department of Defense job.
Great, because I tell you, it takes nowadays a 2-family working.
It absolutely does.
You know?
And a lot of families may elect not to come if their spouse can't stay working.
That's right.
And so that's been a real big point of emphasis for us. Other things we've done is support the local efforts here in Montgomery to get the F-35 mission here. So we spend a lot of money. The foundation gets money appropriated by the legislature every year, and we spend that money to help do those things. Obviously, we're helping Huntsville right now on the Space Command issue, trying to help them lobby Congress to make sure that decision comes out in a good way for Alabama and for Huntsville. But one of the things in looking at the spouse dynamic has been, how do we make our families feel more welcome? How do we give them access to the things they really need to make a decision to move here, whether it's housing or schools or sports or whatever it is? And so a couple years ago, we came up with the idea to create a website that any spouse being assigned into or who lives here currently, or a Guard or Reserve spouse or family, can actually access and get this information right at their fingertips. And so that's what we created. It's called the Heroes Welcome website. But if you just type in Heroes Welcome Alabama in Google, you'll find it. And what this website does is, not only does it have capsules for each of the communities where there's a base or an installation, and it tells everything about it, like here, when to apply for magnet schools, where do you go to get housing help, where do you go to get health care help, what are the recreational opportunities in the area. You can find out everything about the Montgomery area. Same is true for Anniston, Huntsville, Fort Rucker. All those are part of capsules that exist. And then there's also sections where you can go and get all the license reciprocity information for a spouse. And she can it actually shows who the licensing authority is, who the point of contact is, and for the state, and how to get license reciprocity applied to your career field. So we've tried to make it a one-stop shop for any family that's moving into the state, so that they can find out what's available to them to help them easily transition and to make them want to come to Alabama and stay here. We fund the maintenance of that, so every year we go out and recollect the new data so that it's up to date and stays current.
That's wonderful.
And that, that may stay, it may be a month, 4 or 5 months behind at a time, but every year they're collecting and refreshing this information. Some of it doesn't change, some of it does, obviously.
True.
When school years start, when they stop, all those things. So that's what we're really here. What I'm here to tout today is this Heroes Welcome website. We're trying to get the word out within the state that it exists, so that not only if you're a military family and you're here and you're still looking for help, you can go find it this way. Or if you are someone who's moving, but your replacement, you're sponsoring them to come in, you can say, hey, go on this website and here's where you can find out information about the community you're moving to.
Because when you move to a brand new place, I mean, there's so many things, even like if you have pets and you need your dog groomed. I mean,
That's
not to be,
absolutely.
but those are all things that is so time consuming to look up all of these things.
It is.
And that's a minor thing. You're talking about a lot of major things.
That's right. And even all that makes it even more important. The last thing I'll tell you is a new thing we just joined was the Military Spouses Network, which is a network across the nation, and we're the first state to do that. And that network actually allows spouses who are having problems or just want another spouse to talk to. It's actually a mentoring program that once you register in through it and are identified truly as being a military spouse, then you can get actual counseling and mentoring individually, and that can be done through our Heroes Welcome website as well.
Oh, Paul, that's a godsend. I understand how hard it is to move and get acclimated. That's beautiful. Thank you all for what you're doing. And folks, if you have military friends, anything, Heroes Welcome. Remember that. And God bless all of you and everything that you all have done to serve all of us.
Well, thanks for helping us get the word out.
My
Appreciate it.
pleasure. And we'll be right back.